Welcome to another edition of Outside the Overton. We are back in studio. I know you guys probably missed us. Due to the NAV network, we're adding new shows. We're adding different forms of content. So Outside the Overton is being redeveloped, I guess you could say, turned into basically, rather than a daily show throughout the week, a weekly show. Now it's what was regular is now a special treat. So Zeb and I are back live and in living color. Welcome, Zeb.
Thank you for having me, Josh. I'm glad to be in studio here today. But yeah, I mean, like Josh said, we things have been moving for us. We started Nav, and it's kind of taken stuff off of our plate that maybe we have been eating recently. I know a lot of y'all enjoy this show, and we are going to continue to do that. It's just not going to be full-fledged like we've seen it before. We are streaming on mine, Josh's channel right now, along with Nav channel. You can find that in the description. At nav_creators, NAV_creators, to find all of those shows, along with a plethora of other shows that we're doing. Group Report is popping off on Saturdays at 8. Like I said, we're going to continue this show. Today's Monday. We're going to do a show tomorrow for Tuesday, and I think it's going to be a standard Tuesday show from now on. On top of that, we will have Josh is going to do videos by a little bit solo on top of he's got a couple of shows like he does Group Report. We do Nav show on Sundays. We do he's working on a movie show.
Yes. Yeah, very excited. John Ward, Jack of KinoFlex. It's going to be fun.
And then obviously I have a few things going on also. So outside the Overton, when I started this thing, I wanted it to build it with somebody. And I think that's what we've done. That's what I've done. Wow, I'm big. Wow. I'm going to have to fix that here in a second. Hold on. Boom, boom.
I got that fixed. Boom, boom, pow.
Right. And so I wanted to build Outside the Overton like with somebody, and Josh just happened to be around in the radio business, and I got a hold of him. So that's where that started. And obviously I've worked with John Ward in the past, and that he had 3CC that he was building up and trying to do something with that. And this is just a natural evolution. Nav is just a natural evolution of Outside the Overton and 3CC. We're building this thing together. It's actually got a pretty good start so far. Marines in the chat, Semper Fi, happy birthday, brothers. But thank y'all for being here today. And we are going to keep doing the same thing we're doing. We're going to have the same energy. We're going to have the same fun, same amount of fun, maybe more fun with it. We had a meeting earlier today. Some of that might slip out today. I thought we had some good ideas, good ideas in there, Josh.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that. We have a lot going on. We're going to get into Laura Loomer, everything. Everybody's going to pin everything on Bibi Netanyahu. This is a generational divide. We're going to look at somebody like Dinesh D'Souza that wants to deny race, yet wants to defend the poop culture. Josh, they want to defend the poop culture. They can't help it. You can't help it. It's innate. It's in our nature to defend our people. And Dinesh defends eating the poop. It cures cancer. We saw that the other day.
It does cure cancer.
It does cure cancer.
Zeb, you can't deny the results. That's why they have 7 billion people, because no one's dying over there. They're keeping all the poop for themselves, and they live forever. That's why there's so many.
Along with our mud cookies, once we get them up and running, we're going to open a RX side of this thing where we create medicines. I mean, if we can cure cancer with cow dung, why don't we do it, Josh? I think you can take a hand at it. No, we're not gonna have a festival, but we might stick our foot in that door. But yeah, what else we got? Laura Loomer, Bibi Netanyahu, Jonathan Greenblatt said last year, I believe it was March or so, that there's a generational divide, and we're going to kind of cover that generational divide that has been developing over the last year or so, a year and a half now, from his initiation of that, and going to cover that, where it's going. Outside the Overton, we're going to kind of cover the development of the Overton window throughout time and do like a weekly recap. Kind of we'll have so much more content to cover within one show. But we're gonna do that. This is Outside the Overton. I'm ZebBoykin.
I'm Joshua VanDerNoord.
Boom bang pow. There you go. There it is. That's all you need. Let's see. Why can't I zoom in on that? Let's make it smaller. That's a good idea. I can fix that. I can fix that.
I can fix that.
Maybe I can't. Why can't I fix it?
I'll take a little bit of onions.
Give me 1 second. Why is that? Why are you being difficult? There we go. There we go. All right. Before we get into the heavy generational divide, obviously on top of everybody's mind is we are going to cover or discuss a little bit what we talked about on NAV yesterday, which was the elections from Virginia to Minneapolis, little Minnesota, little Somaliland over there in Minnesota.
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis. Mini Somalia. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, we're gonna talk about that for a second. Who else? Is that? Oh, Mamdani. Yeah. So, I mean, this is kind of a lot of people are saying this is what the shutdown was for. The government shutdown was kind of give credence to some of those elections that have been coming up, and if that is the case, then it obviously worked. I mean, these people won their election. It's crazy. It's crazy. We've been invaded. Chat. Let's say hey to chat. We haven't said hey to chat in a while, dude. It's been a week. Has it been a week? Has it been a full week? Almost.
No. I think we did something on Wednesday. Did we not? Did we not?
I don't know what we did. Anyway, Ronnie Berry, Semper Fi, brother. Jason, welcome to the trap. Connecting rabbi holes. Let's go.
Welcome back, boys.
City on a Hill. Thank you for coming, Jason Jackson. Jinzy Goy, killing it. Everybody like the stream. Let's go. Let's do that. Let's push this thing. Mager Fogger. Dude, I feel like it's been a while. I needed a couple days. I took a couple days. We're back. Heavy. We're gonna have to fix this overlay.
The Celsius fountain is flowing. Our cup runneth over.
I just shot Celsius everywhere. Anyway,
I think you should just get like a, I don't know, some kind of apparatus. So it's like you're like Darth Vader. It just goes directly into your heart or something. You're like Bane. You need to be like Bane, where you just have like a dial, and then Celsius just like is wrapped around you in these coils, and you turn into a giant monster.
You know what I was thinking? They need to make a Celsius keg, and I'll just put straps on it and wear it like a backpack. You know how many they would actually sell those things. You just breathe
it in, yeah.
They would actually sell those things.
Oh man.
Kim says happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Hey. She says happy Monday.
Oh, happy Monday. It is Monday too. Happy Monday. Oh, it's happy birthday too. If anybody doesn't know, it's the Marine Corps' birthday. November 10th, Marine Corps' birthday. Is Veterans Day tomorrow or today?
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
But yeah. And then Army's birthday is like tomorrow too. So all of the veteran stuff, all the military stuff is packed into the front end of November if you aren't aware. So if you see any Marines out there, tell them happy birthday. Happy birthday. 250 years, Josh. 1775, Tun Tavern, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That's where the Marine Corps started.
Didn't know that.
It's still standing. They still have Tun Tavern in Philadelphia.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It is cool. There's a lot of history there. You got to repeat that like 18 million times in boot camp so you don't forget it.
Have you ever been to Ford's Theater in D.C.?
No, I have not made it.
It's the tour sucks. They literally just like you peek your head in the door. You're like, there it is. All right, you can leave now. $100. Thanks,
That's
DC.
it?
There's your nation's history. Where the best president of the United States ever was brutally assassinated, right, Zeb?
Yep. Yep. Oh, Lincoln, dude. Oh, we need to do a Lincoln stream.
We need a
destroyed.
We need a Lincoln factions episode.
We'll get to it eventually, dude. Faction stuff is gonna. I thought about that. We got a lot of people to get through. Speaking of factions, Wednesday noon, we are going to be doing Mamdani this week. Curious funding coming out of Mamdani's camp. I know a lot of you probably seen the pictures floating around of him shaking hands, sitting at the table with the. With Joshes, a bunch of Joshes at the round table.
With who, Zebulon?
I don't know. I can't say it.
American Crusader says Zeb is more of a Marine than JD Vance. Zeb, were you a photographer? Were you taking pictures?
Actually, we were issued cameras. There were Canon Mark 3Ds, and that's kind of where I built the foundation for the cameras that I have here. But we were snipers. I wasn't a combat photographer. We took pictures with massive cameras from long distances for reporting and stuff like that. A little bit different application. But yeah, basically I did JD's job without all the gay stuff. So that's cool. That's cool. I don't know, man. I've talked about this before. There's a divide inside the Marine Corps where you have grunts and you have non-grunts, which we call POGs, personnel other than grunts. And that's kind of the argument, is that non-grunts aren't real Marines. And so that's kind of where JD Vance gets that lashing from. But it hurts me to say, because I think we've been betrayed.
Zeb, you don't say. Say it ain't so, Zeb.
I think we've been betrayed.
But has that ever even happened to us before? You sound ridiculous.
I'm not saying we've been scammed, but when you marry into the Indian land, it might bleed. It might just seep into your pores. Like when Josh wears his little tiny hat. I don't know if y'all notice this. When Josh wears his little tiny hat, he actually gets more Jewish. It's not just a thing he puts on. It's osmosis, you know. And so when you're unequally yoked to the poop culture, you start to defend it. You start to become one with them. So
I'm not trying to throw you under the bus, but I'm reminded, they wouldn't know this because none of them were around, but in the early days of Outside the Overton, you remember we used to debate, is JD Vance our guy?
And I said, I like his rhetoric. And I still like his rhetoric. Just like I like the rhetoric or the memes coming out of
the White House.
The White House or the Homeland Security on Twitter. Dude, stop posting memes and deport the people, bro. It's been 9 months, 8 months, whatever it's been. Start deporting them.
Dude, okay,
please.
Think about that. So Donald Trump has been president for 10 months, which means that that people that should have been deported in that time have reproduced. There's more of them now. You know, I'm not saying it's a substantial amount, but think about it. People that should have been gone day one have had kids, have had anchor babies.
That's crazy.
100%.
That's crazy to think. Not only have they had anchor babies, those babies are citizens.
Already. Think about it. I mean, timeline, January, and now we're in November. Mexicans that were shaking in their boots because Donald Trump got elected thinking, we're going to get deported, got pregnant that night. Guarantee. I mean, the number, it's just a numbers game. That absolutely happened. And now the baby is
live
amongst
on all
us.
of our platforms? Let me double check. Go ahead.
That is a good question. But I mean, the mass deportations, more like ass deportation. Anyway, yeah. I mean, they're here to stay, guys. Donald Trump, Taco. What was it? It was Taco. Trump always chickens out. You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become a Mexican.
I wanted to send you this to send to your dad. Shout out, I met Josh's dad this weekend. Cool dude. I don't know what happened to him, but cool dude. Shout out
They
Josh's
were
dad.
chatting it up about
I don't know what happened to
chemtrails.
Josh. I don't know what happened to Josh, but he lost some of the dad genes somewhere. Not shaming mom, but I you know
what it was? My dad was like an Alex Jones level conspiracy guy since like 2005. So like I grew up with like the most conspiracy stuff. You know what I mean? And so I'm a little burnt out. You know what I mean? There's a part of me that's like, maybe it's not real. You know, the Kim, like, hey, Jews did 9/11, but the chemtrails, jury's out. Depends on what you mean by
That's
chemtrails, though.
crazy work, Josh. Like, I feel like chemtrails are baseline. Like, that's baseline conspiracy. Like, if you can get over the chemtrail hump, then everything, it opens up the rest of the world. It's like, how do you get past step one without passing step one, Josh?
Because that's a huge, because that's
Chemtrails are
not
like
step one.
entry level, dude.
That's the thing is they're too.
I know what
fake.
it is. The chemtrails have gotten to Josh into believing that the chemtrails aren't real. The chemtrails have seeped into Josh's brain to
That's
the point
right.
where it teaches him not to believe the chemtrails.
I'm taking flying lessons, and I'm flying behind the guy, and I'm just taking them all in. I'm getting
he's
a
playing
concentrated
the long
dose.
game, so when they ask him to do the chemtrails, he can still have plausible
Yeah,
deniability.
yeah, exactly. When I get my pilot's license, I want to be able to fly a Cessna with a big gallon tank underneath, flip the switch, and Florence, you're getting gas.
Oh man.
Generation Zyklon.
But yeah, just to touch base again, we talked about this at the very beginning of the show. We are streaming to my channel, Josh's channel, and the Nav channel. Over the next couple of weeks, we will continue to stream my channel, Josh's channel, Nav, and eventually it will just bleed into the Nav channel. So I put that link in the description if anybody wants, or in the description, and also in chat if you want to go follow over there. I get the feed from everywhere, so I can keep up with chat on that end. I will start doing a solo show probably most days. The days that we don't do Nav, or the days that I'm not doing Nav things. Like I said, Nav is just an evolution of Outside the Overton. It is what it is. It's where, we kind of got to go with the flow. I'm not going to force things. That's just what it is. That's where we're going. We're doing big things over there. So, a variety of shows, as I've said before. We're going to keep adding more shows and more shows. And if anybody out there is listening and wants to be a part of it, wants to contribute in some way, please reach out. Also, Frank the Tank in chat, y'all can find him also to see if he wants to reach out. There should be an email in the description to reach out also. Anything from research, you got a video you want to help push out, or research for a video that you want to help push out. Clipping, we need clippers. If you want to contribute, you want to be on the panel, you want to contribute in debates. I know I've had, I think Mean Bean has reached out to do the, to argue on the evolution side of a debate. And so we've had a couple of people do that. So we're going to work on that. And
I meant to ask John what his stance on that was in the meeting today. Totally forgot.
Can't be forgetting, man. Can't be forgetting.
I've got bonobo brain. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Is John pro evolution?
Josh.
Oh, it's Josh pro evolution. Yeah, he's retarded.
Yes.
The chemtrails got to him, man. I don't know what to tell you, dude. The chemtrails got to him. Breaking. Senator reached a deal to end federal government shutdown. So we've been shut down for like, what, over a month now?
Yeah.
It's been a minute. The agreement funds government through January 30th and schedules a December vote on the Affordable Care Act bill. Okay, well, that should... I'm pretty sure Donald Trump said he was going to get rid of the Affordable Care Act in 2015. What are we doing here? The deal reverses President Trump's firings of federal employees and adds provisions to prevent future such actions. Josh, can we read this one?
What are we getting out of this?
Well, I want to ask you a question real quick. I'm going to read this again. The deal reverses President Trump's firings of federal employees. What's the point of the presidency?
There is none. And think about this. They weren't even fired. They were paid to quit. So they got a check, did whatever with it, maybe even got a new job for a couple months. Welcome back. This turned out better for them.
What is the point of the presidency?
And now they have tenure.
I don't understand. I don't understand. Not only does Donald Trump not do anything, they control Congress, they control the Senate. We still aren't doing anything. We can barely agree to end the government shutdown. And then when we do, everything that the president did is reversed. What are we doing here, dude? You don't vote harder. Not only do you get scammed when you vote, but the scam vote doesn't even matter. That's crazy work, dude.
Well, and so what, like, is this, they just like gave the Democrats, what did we get out of this?
Lost elections. They get free time. I mean, we what do we get out of this? A peek through the window of the system is still a scam, as it always has been. Also ensures food stamps are funded through fiscal year 2026, according to sources. I mean, Trump got booed at the Washington Redskins game. Trump's approval rating from 18 to 35 right now is it's in the gutter. It's like 30% or something like that. His approval rating is abysmal right now.
Dude, when are they going to get it? Become a dictator, dude. You can't win.
Well, the response they have to that, Josh, is, well, it's only been 8 months. It's only been 9 months. You got to give him time, dude. You got to give him time. Give him time for what? Lose midterms? Give him time to lose midterms? Then he can make an excuse because it's, oh, the Democrats are stopping us because we don't have control of the House. Dude, he had control of the House and the Senate and the presidency and everything else for 2 years in his first term. Now he's had control for 9 months. What are we doing? We got another 9 before it's all over, because then nothing really is getting done. So the question is, what is Donald Trump in there for? And somebody floated the idea that the banks pushed him into running again. They allowed him to win. The big banks did. And it looks like that is the case, especially when you're trying to normalize 50-year mortgages.
50 years?
Have you not seen this?
No.
Mortgage, they're trying to normalize 50-year mortgages. Let me see if I didn't have a tweet, but I'm gonna find one real quick. 50-year mortgages. I don't know how to express that to you. You can save $200, but you pay an extra, depending on how much the house is, you pay an extra, like, I don't know, $500,000, an extra $500,000. It's insane. Oh, but guess what, Josh? Guess what? You get, we're going to get $2,000 stimmy checks because of tariffs. Except it's not stimmy checks. It's just credit on your taxes.
I'm becoming like a complete fiscal liberal. Like,
I've been a fiscal liberal, dude.
Take everything the boomers have and give it to us. This is ridiculous. A 50-year mortgage. Like, we need some NAV logo guillotines outside the courthouses. That's what we need. That's insane. That is insane.
I mean, you can show the numbers, but it doesn't really, give away how bad it actually is. Like, that's infinite usury. Right, in 2009, I think, or 2004, the average home buyer, the average age of the home buyer was 35 years old. Was it 35? I think it was 35. 39. The average age of the home buyer was 39 years old.
Today it's like 50.
It's 59. So let me put this into perspective. 20 years ago, 39-year-olds were buying houses. Fast forward 20 years, 59-year-olds, they're 20 years older, are buying houses. It's the same fucking people. It's not even new people. It's the same people buying new houses.
Do you know? I mean, it's to a lesser extent, but it's like, dude, the boomers got everything. I remember Nick talked about this in like 2019, but maybe you heard of this. There was a story about how, I don't know what it was, but there were colleges like in New England, and what they were doing was, they say colleges for everybody, and that includes the elderly. So you know what they did? In certain colleges, certain classes, you could get in to a class, by the way, with a finite amount of people that they accept. You could get in if you were over the age of 65 for free. So think about this. If you were, when those same 65-year-olds were 20 years old, they were going to college for like what? $400 a semester. Fast forward to the end of their life. Oh, you want to go back to college and get an education for shits and gigs? Completely free. Meanwhile, their children and great-great-grandchildren are paying out the ass. Same thing as the housing. You buy a 2-bedroom home for $30,000. Well, now your wealth is basically, the status of it is exactly the same. Here, just buy up all the property and just make infinite Airbnbs and don't give anything to your children. Jim from Florence, he sent me a video today where a young person called into Dave Ramsey's show.
Yeah.
And was like, hey, my mom has a 529 plan, like a 529 plan.
Uh-huh.
It's got over $400,000 in it. They just, keep in mind, the daughter is like 30 years old.
Yeah.
In medical school. They just adopted a like Somalian pirate, like they just adopted some Somalian kid, and they are giving that money to the kid. And Dave Ramsey was like, well, that's her money. What do you expect of your parents?
That's
so
crazy.
The daughter that is, I guess, just putting herself through medical school,
Does a 529
selfishly won't let them like give it to their new pet.
Does a 529 plan not have a stipulation on that? Maybe, I don't know. I guess not. Michael Fokker says Dave Ramsey was accurate 30 years ago. Yeah, he's stuck in the...
Yeah.
Dude, Dave Ramsey advocates for buying a house without an income. He says you can buy a house with no guaranteed income if you're self-employed. It doesn't work like that. Nobody gets loans like that anymore. You can maybe find one local bank that would do that would facilitate basically a cash buyout of a house. He's so... I mean, I can't imagine he would be all for a 50-year mortgage. But yeah, dude... A lot of these boomers are, this is the generational divide. They're stuck at 30 years old. They can't wake up to what's actually going on right now. They have to be force-fed this thing. This is, Brad basically says, my favorite thing about this chart is that the median homebuyer age rose from 39 in 2005 to 59 in 2025. I was close. 20 years over 20 years. It's literally the same people buying the homes 2 decades later. It is. It's the same people buying houses. And they think that this housing bubble, which is really an everything bubble, is just going to continue on. But the question is, how do you hide this bubble that's happening? How do you take this shit turd of an economy and make it look like gold? You spray paint it. You spray paint it with 2K stimulus checks. You spray paint it with 50-year mortgages. You spray paint it with whatever Trump can think up right now, because all he has to do is make it to midterms. If he makes it to that, me and Josh were talking about the other day, he looks bad. And we talked about this before on the show. We talked about this before on the show where he talks about heaven and doing everything he can for Ukraine and how many lives he saved, and he just wants to make it into heaven on top of, just getting old. Dude's like what, 82 or something.
Inflated ankles, got
swollen
patches,
ankles,
like IV bruises.
He's got old people's skin. If he touches anything with his skin, it breaks and tears instantly. It's like he's getting old, man. He's getting old fast, and I don't think he makes it to his final term. But all that being said, we're talking about the generational divide, and this is an aspect of that. It's not just the Jewish generational divide that we're going to get into. We're going to talk about this is Dinesh D'Souza. Talking about Dave Ramsey too. I mean, it's so evident across the board, but we need to wake up. Actually, let me go back. Let me go back to the original tweet on this. This is Dinesh D'Souza on Tyler Rivera. Tyler Rivera did a documentary. He went to India for the Poop Festival in India and did a documentary, and he posted this yesterday, or no, a couple days ago, November 6th. So what, 4 days ago? I saw it like yesterday or the day before. I was like, dude, there's no way he doesn't post the video. And basically says, after much consideration, I've decided I will not be releasing my documentary capturing India's poop throwing festival. He goes on, he says, I've been doxxed and threatened, and I don't want to do it. It's too much threat to my life and my family's lives. And I'm just being bombarded with the billions of Indians reporting and harassing me. And so obviously it's bait. Nobody's going to do that. Somebody that's already gone through this isn't going to back out now. But what do you have here, Josh? Josh, you want to read that real quick for me?
How about commenting on this festival? It seems like the future belongs to the poop throwers.
That's very woke of Mr. D'Souza.
Zeb, I thought Dinesh was an American.
What?
Why would he care?
I thought identity politics was woke, Dinesh. Unprompted, completely unprompted. Nobody even attacked Dinesh. But they did, though, Josh. But they did. And he knew that they did because he knows at his core he is an Indian.
Mm-hmm.
And he has to defend the Indians. Inevitably, this is what we're looking at. Inevitably, you're looking at tribal rivalries. The Indian and the American. Dot and feather. The Indian versus the American. That's a good one, dude. That's a good one.
I'd rather literally take the slings and arrows over like poops and like giant balls of shit in catapults and stuff.
Yeah, but they're just
if they can even figure that out.
They're just trying to get rid of the cancer. That's all they're doing.
They're helping.
They're helping us get rid of the cancer by throwing shit at us.
Cow shit, specifically.
The identity politics is inevitable. That is the only thing that matters, specifically in a democracy. You can call it representative if you want to. It doesn't matter. It's a democracy at this point. Specifically, we mentioned Minnesota earlier. We have little Somaliland, Minnesota. The reason the Jew won the election in Minnesota and Ilhan Omar came out and blasted her fellow Somalians for not voting for Omar. The reason Omar didn't win is because you have two factions of rivalries, a rivalry between two factions of Somalis in Minneapolis. One faction didn't vote for Omar because he was from the other faction. You have Somali rivalries happening on American land in one of the prominent cities in America. Like think about that for a second. The reason the Somali didn't win in little Somaliland is because the majority of Somalians weren't from the same tribe as the Somali running for the mayor.
Right, because there's not even...
What are we even doing here?
There's not even... To say they're from Somalia, Somalia is like split into, I believe, 3 factions. These like tribal factions. And guess what? How poetic is it that in Minneapolis, they have what's called the Mall of America. So I don't know if it's the biggest mall in the world anymore, but it was for a long time. It's got like an indoor amusement park. It's crazy. Somali gang fighting in the Mall of America.
This is insane, man. This is Somali. Basically, I'll make it smaller. This is, I mean, these are your factions inside of Somali. Where is what is this? I don't know what this is. I wanted to find the original tweet, but I'm not going to be able to. Anyway, basically, Omar was from one of these tribes, and a major portion of the Somalis in Somaliland, Minnesota, were from another tribe. And so they didn't vote for Omar because he's from the other tribe. Dude, what are we doing? Like, seriously. Like, how are we allowing these people, one, in our country, two, to vote, and three, to even run in like, you could just go down the list. It's a failure across the board by Americans. And this is Ilhan Omar right here talking about that.
qofka Soomaaliga ah waa qof cadow sare ah dadkaas oo kaleetana magaaladayna nolol dhex nool yihiin waan aragnaa anagoo dhan qaar waxa jiro aan dhahno qofkan wuu iska hadlaa micno ma leh kanina adeerkay waaye bidiis waxa dhihin waxa laga yaabaa ka fishaabiyaalkeen waa taqaaniin dadkan ka hadlaayo Starbucks ka la fadhiistiin maybe masaajidka marmar inuu imaadana laga yaabaa xafladaha isla tagtiin waa taqaaniin dadkan ka hadlaa inuu guriyaan la deganahay.
Okay, dude, yeah, all right, we get it. You got it. That hurts. And look,
we will never gain power and move forward as Somalians as long as these people live among us. She's talking about people that recognize a rivalry in America from Somalia. The same people we try to defend, there are the ones who want to see us in jail. I mean, how far have we come to have literal Somali rivalries on American land? It's insane. It's insane. And now we have Dinesh D'Souza. I'll go to his page. Let me go to his page. You want to see something real quick? Let's go to his page. After we just looked at him
bragging about how America belongs to Indians.
The future belongs to the poop throwers. How much does this idiot post, dude? And this is in response to Surf. Surf he's a troll. It says, this is not an American. Okay, valid. He just defended India and said America belongs to the poop throwers. I don't think these losers understand how I react to this abuse. I react in the way the Duke of Kent would react to caterwauling of a street heckler. I don't do the pompousness of the Brahmin. I'm simply entertained by the stupidity. My wife tells me I enjoy these plebeian tantrums way too much. Bro.
Yeah. You don't get to me, and my wife agrees. Okay, buddy.
He said, okay, now he says he was being sarcastic. Yeah, yeah, pawn it off now because you got absolutely roasted, dude. Absolutely roasted. Did you see the poop throwing documentary yet, Dinesh? My wife and I had an alternative engagement. Dude, he knows. He can't engage. He can't engage, man. Your wife really... Yeah, he got absolutely ratioed. And he should get ratioed. This is the problem. He goes out and he defends India unprompted. And says... How about commenting on this festival? It seems like the future belongs to the poop throwers. Was he being sarcastic? Does that sound sarcastic to you, Josh?
Well, and okay, so the conclusion he's drawing from the study about how Asians are accruing more wealth than the native whites. Oh, it's a joke. Guys, come on.
It's a joke. There's no great replacement going on. I never said that was a good thing. I'm American. I'm a CivNat. I want American citizens to do what I'm America first.
Well, Zeb, here's what it is, Zeb. Here's what it is.
Where's my ankle bite?
The Asians are outperforming everybody, well, because they have a better culture.
Oh, for sure.
But I'm an American because I've assimilated into the culture. What were you going to say?
When we win, you'll be lucky to be able to throw poop at your equals. You know he does. He misses it. He misses back home. He wants to sleep on the cow patty. He needs a cow patty pillow. That's what he needs. He's not sleeping well at night. That's why he's so cranky all the time. He needs a cow patty pillow.
Dinesh D'Souza, when he's in his private jet flying over flyover country over the cow farms, he hears the subtle call of the poop whispering to him through the
cow patty
window.
cookies coming soon.
Mud
cookies,
and cow pies.
Oof. We got to get on that, dude. We will have mud cookies eventually. And cow pies. Mud cookies. Dude, we're going to start a bakery. Mud cookies and cow pies.
Send us your women. We need bakers.
We need bakers. We need a sweatshop. Send us we need to build a sweatshop of just bakers.
Round the
cook,
we need
dude,
like
cook.
auto whipping machines.
But this is Tyler Oliveira. But this is what we're talking about, is this just generational divide. This documentary, we're gonna watch a few minutes of it.
Okay.
It's bad. It's about as bad as you think it's gonna be. How about that?
I can't tell where the pooping is.
So much shit. That's me at a poop-throwing festival in India, where the villagers spend 6 months collecting cow poop and celebrate the end of Diwali by throwing it at each other and rubbing it on their skin. I'm sinking! I'm sinking! I'm gonna die today! I'm touched! I am the one who shits!
Bro, like, it's not like, okay, we're going to go have a snowball fight. Let's make a couple of snowballs. No, we're storing up for 6 months. 6 months worth of cow shit, bringing in dump truck loads, filling the streets full. It's not like, okay, let's make a couple snowballs and throw them in. Dude, they got full-fledged. I'm talking, dude. How much you like? That's a 10-pound cow ball, bro.
They should. Do they do poop angels? Do they make poop men, like roll it up into 3 balls, put a carrot in its nose, or is that haram? Like whatever their bad is, can they have carrots, dude? So when this first became a thing, when this first became a thing, I thought it was a joke. I thought it was like a mud throwing thing, and the guy was just saying, "Oh, they're throwing poop." Guys,
dude, I don't even know, man.
Okay. You know what? I think we need to take a page from the Talmud, and we need to get the billboard trucks, play this video, and drive to your country clubs. Drive through your grandparents' rich, affluent neighborhoods with shit-throwing documentary billboard trucks.
Well, if we're doing it, it needs to be done in Texas. You have Governor Greg Abbott that's absolutely praising these people day in and day out. It's worse, dude. They're going into Texas right now and they're taking over. Do that in Texas, Josh. Try that in Texas. Now it's just Indians everywhere. It's gonna be Indians everywhere before too long. And now all the Texans are gonna have to move to Tennessee and South Carolina. That's what's gonna happen. I talked about that the other day on a podcast with Ardito. We were talking about the balkanization, and it's already happening. You can see the movement of people. If you map it out, you can see the movement of people to the places that they think are more like them. And it's just going to continue happening until we have a balkanization, a network of nations inside of America. But this is crazy work, dude. This is crazy work. These people get like 90% of the H-1B visas.
Throwing it at each other and
like this is crazy work. Dude. Here, Josh, this is your favorite one.
Oh my God.
Oh no, don't load.
a little bit, it cures cancer.
Daily.
How much do you eat? Like, can you show me? Just a small. You don't have to do it. I just want to see how much. Just a small amount.
Small, anything you can eat it. But
How does it taste?
That taste, but we are playing our bodies, any other stitching or anything it's not chem.
Okay. So scientifically,
You can take and check it in your lab.
yeah.
That's it chem. Because of our daily we can take in the with it. Its smell is chem.
Yeah.
Any other smell?
Dude, that's crazy work,
Dude.
dog. How
Well,
do you,
and
how
as-
are you just not even eating it? You're just like tossing it in your hand like it's nothing. Like you got a cell phone.
So in an Italian deli in New York, the guy's like, baba boo, like throwing like dough back and forth. Oh, they roll into a ball, make a pizza pie. Across the planet, Diwali DIY dough. Also, it shouldn't be understated, Zeb, that why are billions of Indians attacking Tyler Oliveira for this? Why are they upset about the documentary?
All cultures are equal.
Is
Josh.
this
That's what I was
not
told.
is this not your heritage?
Promotional material? You embrace this. You embrace this, Dinesh. This is yours. You defend it. This is yours. You're not American. If you defend this in any capacity, you're not American. It's delusional. Dinesh goes on a speaking tour. He has these debates of I'm an American, blah, blah, blah. It's like, bro, wake up, dude. Wake up. Obviously, no, I'm not talking to Dinesh to wake up. That's not going to happen. He knows what he's doing. He's just trying to vie a position inside of America. He's trying to scam you into believing that he's American. If he says it enough times, you will believe it. Because y'all believe anything. You believe all of the rhetoric.
Well, dude, and there's been a few times we've talked about the boomers, and it's we can't place the blame solely at their feet, but we talk about the boomers. It is their fault, dude. I mean, think about it. They worship foreigners. They worship like anyone other than their own children. I was talking about this with Jim and Florence today. It's like, you know how they say like, oh, the rhetoric is, oh, this generation, they don't know anything. They're lazy. They don't do anything. They're all deadbeats. That's why I can't retire from politics, because I'm the only hard worker in the family. That's what it is. But you know what it is, Zeb? I guarantee it. They get off on talking about their kids like that. It's not like they falsely believe it. They enjoy it. They enjoy crapping on their kids. It's like the story I brought up with the thing. The woman has $400,000 to put for this, and the daughter's in medical school, and now they're like, oh, you know what? I have a great idea. I'm gonna just adopt some Somali pirate, bring him over here, give them all the money so we can raise them. And then when the daughter goes, what about med school? It's like, these kids, man. I mean, you're about to become a doctor and you're complaining you don't have enough money. Think of this kid that is not going to be a doctor. I mean, and you know what? It's so they can go to their buddies at the golf course and say, I adopted some pirate, and now, now my deadbeat kid who's going to be a doctor is ungrateful. These kids, man.
It's this thing across the board, and it's their version of victimhood. They're entitled, but they want to be a victim also. They were born in the greatest time period in the history of the world. So the question is, how do I become a victim when I've been just given everything? Well, my kids are a burden, and I have to take care of them. I'm the victim. I have to take care of them, and I'm just going to not do that because I'm a victim. How do I not be a victim? How do I be a victim and not be a victim? I know. I'll go on an everlasting cruise, a forever cruise.
My dumb kids just won't invest in the S&P 500.
Yeah, if you
so they might have $1 million in 50 years.
If you just take that $200 you save on that 50-year mortgage for the house that you're trying to buy and invest that, you'll be a millionaire when you're 80. I don't know what the problem is. What's the problem? Well, the problem is the same people that are going to get denied a 30-year mortgage are the same people that's going to get denied a 50-year mortgage. A $200 a month difference it's not going to matter. And so when you have people buying in, I'll be generous. I'll be generous and say first-time home buyers at 35. And let's say they don't leave the house. Let's say they die in that house. The average age of death, the average lifespan is 78 years old. They buy a house at 35. They buy a house at 35, Josh, with a 50-year mortgage. They die before it gets paid off. Their first house, that's if they don't move, that's if they don't refinance, that's if nothing happens, and they do what they're told to do. They die before the house is paid off. This is infinite interest. That's what the banks have created. That's what Donald Trump has created. It is infinite interest. I don't know how else to explain that to you. Not only are you a wage slave, now you're a debt slave on top of that, and most of us already are debt slaves. But now it's an infinite process that will never be paid off.
I mean, it's not even like probably won't happen. It is absolutely certain that you will be paying interest for the rest of your life. It's impossible. Unless, I don't know, they upload you to Neuralink and AI and you're working, learning to code.
Don't give them ideas, Josh. Don't give them ideas. We're going to create this virtual reality world where you can work off your debt in virtual reality for forever. If the rich ever figure out how to live forever, they're just going to create what do they call transhuman slaves. That's what they'll do. It's not for them, it's for everybody else too. You'll just be a slave instead of the rest of your life. It'll be forever. Talking about the generational divide, this is when it kind of came up. This is March of 24. Real quick, brief rundown. Jonathan Greenblatt is head of the ADL. The ADL basically runs everything. They call a lot of shots. I mean, they obviously answer to somebody, but on the groundwork, they call a lot of shots when it comes to the direction of media and definitions, even from the White House. So when Jonathan Greenblatt says that there's a generational divide, we recognize that. And then he kind of dives into TikTok here and some of the social media aspects, which recently we've known that Larry Ellison bought TikTok, Josh. It's just a coincidence. He just happened upon buying TikTok for no reason at all.
ADL's polling, ICC's polling, independent polling suggests this is not a left-right gap, folks. The issue in the United States of support for Israel is not left and right. It is young and old. And the numbers of young people who think that Hamas's massacre was justified is shockingly and terrifyingly high. And so we really have a TikTok problem, a Gen Z problem, that our community needs to put the same brains that gave us Tag Lee, the same brains that gave us all these other amazing innovations.
Pause real quick. The same brains that gave us Tag Me, or what? Because sometimes that it like misinterprets what they say. Do you know what he was talking about?
I don't know. Maybe hashtag or something like that.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Put our energy toward this, fast. Because again, we've been chasing this left-right divide.
Tag Me? You think it's a tracking app?
I'm going to look that up and continue.
It's the wrong game.
Chat, what's Tag Me?
Because sometimes with these...
What's he talking about?
Tag Me is a social media request for others to mention a specific user or brand in their post. So
okay, just
tagging.
like an at.
Okay.
Like a at campaign. It's a campaign to network people.
The next generation and the Hamas and show you.
This is over a year and a half ago. Like, think about how far we've come in a year and a half, Josh. Like, that's crazy how far we've come in a year and a half. I mean, you would expect that they're going to ramp something up here pretty soon.
Boy sent out a voice memo to the worldwide Shabbat dinner, and then a year and a half later, all right, so it's like Frank with our task list.
Yeah.
they just sent out buy TikTok, brainwash the youth. Year and a half later, right on time. Good work, fellas.
Yeah, on that note, here is Ben Shapiro. Jonathan Greenblatt said it was not a left-right issue. And we've talked about it on this show. I've talked about it. And I kind of predicted, and maybe I was off a little bit. I basically said we had this discussion really early on in the show saying something to the effect that the right is too large of an umbrella. There's too many people, too many factions inside of the right. And we see that split happening right specifically with Israel. And there's a generational position on that too, where the older generation is with the pro-Israel position. A lot of that older generation and the pro-Israel position is on Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro is on CNN. What is Ben Shapiro leveraging CNN against the nationalists, against Americans? What is he doing over there, Josh?
Let's find out, Seth.
I think that Kevin really screwed things up last week when he decided to inject himself into this controversy with his vociferous defense that contained some rather charged language. I think he's doing the right thing by pointing out the obvious, which is that if somebody glosses Nazis on the air, that person probably should not be associated with a conservative thing.
All right, quick pause. Shapiro used glosses. I feel like that's notable.
Well, okay, so I think what he's trying to say is glossing over.
No.
So you think he's saying he means to say glazes, but is saying glosses?
Yes.
I thought that at first, but I don't think so now. Like, he would not say that on CNN because you know what glaze means.
Well,
right?
he's talking about glazing Nazis, but he says glosses. Listen.
Defense that contains some rather charged language. I think he's doing the right thing by pointing out the obvious, which is that if somebody glosses Nazis on the air, that person probably should not be associated with a conservative think tank.
I feel like that's notable. Why is that notable? This is a very, very, very specific terminology that comes from specific people. He obviously watches a show, but to adopt the terms, I feel like is pretty heavy.
Do you think he heard glazes, thought glosses, and he thought it meant glossing over? Like,
well, he meant glossing. He meant glazing. That's what he meant.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
He's
like,
not saying glosses.
Did he mishear? Because I mean,
are we talking past each other here?
Do you know what glaze, like what?
Yes.
Like where the term comes from?
Yes.
Okay. You think he would say that on CNN? He doesn't know because he's not saying glazing.
Well, he's saying glosses in polishing terms, like
yeah,
making it look good.
But do you think that's what he thought we were saying when they say glazing?
No, I think he uses the term glossing on purpose.
So okay, so he just like made it up.
No, y'all use that term glossing.
No, you mean Nick?
Yes,
he says glazing.
I thought y'all used glossing yesterday.
Talking about how Ben Shapiro uses it.
Oh,
it was
okay. Maybe I missed something.
We played a clip where Nick was making this exact same point. He was like, "Why is Ben saying glossing? Does he mean glazing?" It's like the exact same conversation.
I see. There's a confusion.
Yeah. Okay.
I see. I'm misunderstanding.
Also, I watched Ben Shapiro in 2015, 2016 when it was the tranny issue. Not only does his yarmulke get bigger, but his head comes more. He gets more.
Oh, he gets the brow. Yeah.
He really. He's looking at you through his eyebrow. Maybe,
dude, look at those
Ben
eyebrows.
Shapiro is a slave to like the caterpillars living on his face.
I can't really talk much about my eyebrows, but his are.
What are you talking about compared to him? What's even wrong with yours? They look
I
fine.
don't think, dude. Rick with the super chat. Also support the show. However, Nav should be monetized here midweek, so we would appreciate that. Glossing, please like me, young people. Very much so. It's a hot sauce situation here.
Should have a duty to say that that is a bad thing to do. So I'm grateful to Kevin for doing that. I think it's a very good thing that he did that. The real issue here is I think that Tucker Carlson's morphing from, I would say, a very edgy right-wing political figure on Fox News, but certainly within the mainstream, into a conspiracist, a person who ideologically launders anti-Semitism, who ideologically launders all sorts of anti-Americanism on his show, and then airs it for the public to hear. He did with Nick Fuentes, which was essentially a massage of Nick Fuentes. You know, I think that took a lot of people by surprise, probably including Kevin.
The Washington Free Beacon obtained and posted video of yesterday's Heritage Foundation staff meeting where Roberts apologized for how he's handled Tucker's conversation with Nick Fuentes. Here's part of what Roberts had to say.
I didn't know much about this Fuentes guy. I still don't, which underscores the mistake. I can tell you with a clear conscience and not making any excuses that those were my intentions, to fix all of that. And obviously I didn't. I made them worse.
We reached out to the Heritage Foundation for comment about the video. We were referred to Kevin Roberts' social media post from yesterday. What's your reaction? And let me just note that Nick Fuentes is...
I'm gonna stop it real quick. I mean, I'm kind of on an island here. Obviously, Josh and the Groypers have a position, and then you have the position of Ben Shapiro and stuff. I think we can all agree that Kevin Roberts is a pussy. Why are you backtracking, dude? Have we not learned anything? Like, seriously. I can bash Tucker all I want about being CIA. At least he didn't back off of his position. Like he's sitting in a cuck chair in the corner. Kevin Roberts. What a joke, dude.
Well, and it's
grow a spine.
It's not even like a it wasn't even a you know what? The more I learn about Nick Fuentes, the more I kind of get why he shouldn't have been on Tucker. It was a, oh my God, please, what have I done? There was an anti-Semitic canard to say venomous coalition. For like 5 days. And did you see the clip? I saw it on Atlas's video, which was great, by the way. But his video where it was like the leaked thing where he was getting berated by the staff. And it was like,
oh, yeah.
This Jewish woman was like, I'm a Christian and my brother in Christ, you're a piece of shit. And you're a weak. She was calling him weak and impotent for not denouncing him. And he's just sitting there taking it.
Well, he is.
He's been fairly notorious for years now, including when he dined with President Trump at Mar-a-Lago.
I mean, I think that's true, but I think that really in order to experience the full wonders of the Nick Fuentes catalog, you really do have to spend some time going through the receipts. I did that earlier this week on my show. And the truth is that most people don't watch politics all that granularly. Even people who are in politics don't spend a lot of time on sort of the fringe edgelord right, the way that Fuentes is. And so the sort of mainstreaming, the popularization and normalization of Fuentes by Carlson is significantly more important than just Fuentes' existence, obviously. It was a seminal moment, I think, when it comes to the right's decision as to whether Tucker himself is a source of truth or whether he is a destructive force inside conservatism.
So one of the things you've noted is that...
All right, that's enough of Ben Shapiro on CNN. Ben Shapiro on CNN now. On scene, let's skip to this. I'm sure they say
Christians is an absurd contention. Obviously, I would have preferred more from the vice president, but I think the broader problem here is, again, that you have an enormous number of young people who are...
What was that? What was that, Ben?
Persecutors of Christians is an absurd contention. Obviously, I would have preferred more from the vice president, but I think the broader problem here is, again, that you have an enormous number of young people who are engaging.
Did you hear that, JD? Your masters are not pleased with the response.
With true white supremacist, anti-Jew content and are taken in by it, and there do need to be more voices pushing back on that.
Ben Shapiro, we thank you for your voice. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Ben Shapiro, we thank you for your voice. Thank you so much. CNN to Ben Shapiro. Like I said, we were talking about the factions inside of the right and how large the umbrella is that everybody is kind of shoved under. It's not going to last forever. It can't last forever. These factions are going to split off. I was positing that the right is the further right is going to have to adopt some of the left, at least in some type of local elections. But it seems like this generational divide, this older generation, which is in line with Ben Shapiro in this pro-Zionist, pro-Israel, pro-Jew position, is going left. Josh, do you think they will adopt some Democratic running positions?
Well, I mean, it's wherever they need to be. If they went to Trump because in 2024, when Biden was kind of pushing back against Netanyahu, Biden wasn't, I mean, he was totally caving, but not enough. They went with Trump because Trump was promising big. He's been delivering. And so if they feel like the right wing is more anti-Semitic, they absolutely, I mean, Bill Ackman, this is what's so frustrating. You know, Bill Ackman, liberal all his life, is so displeased with Joe Biden that now he's all of a sudden Republican, and the Republicans are, they're accepting him with open arms. And now Bill Ackman is more of a influential conservative after converting, what, 2 years ago? I mean, this is what it is like the Republicans want everyone to like them. The ideological ones. And it's gay. They don't, dude.
I want to find a tweet for you. Miriam Adelson tweet, actually. I thought I sent it to you. I thought I sent it to us for this, but I guess I didn't.
Miriam Adelson.
Is this it? I think this is it. This is Miriam Adelson. When was the last time American politicians said the words, "Thank you for all you do for white people"? Actual Americans are spit on and ignored while Jews are worshipped. This is Elise Stefanik. All these people have some type of position that they hold and are promoted by, well, the Trump administration. Miriam Adelson specifically has been praised time and time again by Donald Trump. Major backer by Donald Trump, Josh.
Is that her?
Yes.
I want to wish you congratulations on receiving the ZOA's...
Pause real quick. I had never seen a picture of Miriam Adelson before. And because her husband was a billionaire, I always imagined that she was probably like a hot MILF of some kind, you know?
Yep.
That's astonishing.
This one says, what does it say? The campaign will be heavily funded by $3 billion supporters of Trump and Israel. Mega donor Adelson has hedge fund managers Paul Singer, John Paulson, Trio financed $2 million stream of attack ads that began running against Massey this summer. That's what I was going to get to. Also, he expects the campaign to spend about $2 million more. For some Trump supporters, it is a baffling development. Massey may be an iconoclast, but Trump isn't targeting him for going against the MAGA agenda. He is targeting Massey for doing what Trump said he would do, but didn't. Yeah, that's Miriam Adelson, and I want to get to Massey here in a second too. I thought I had a tweet on that.
Maccabees Warrior Award for good leadership and for your fight against Israel and Jew hatred on colleges' campuses. I want to tell you that when I heard you talking to the head of the universities, I said to myself, she has the guts to say the truth. How could we come to a period when we don't have guts to say this truth? Sheldon used to say, stand up for what you believe in, even if you stand up alone. And you showed us and all the world courage. You had courage to do it, and you stood up for what you believe in, and it was fantastic for me to hear you talking like this. You are a great leader. many people should have followed you. It was just a testimony of your courage to stand up for the Jewish people and for Israel and for the free world. Here you are.
Okay, pause again real quick. So someone like Matt Walsh will go on a rant for days about Mom Donnie, which is, I'm all there for it, Matt. But he will rant about how we need people to speak the language, but are perfectly fine with this.
Oh, for sure.
This woman can barely speak.
For sure.
But she has billions of dollars and is God's chosen people.
Oh, for sure. I mean, not only the they got the Star of David here, but her entire outfit is the Star of David. It's just woven into the fabric. It's just it's in their DNA. Everything that comes with it. Israeli citizen Miriam Adelson bought the Dallas Mavericks for $3.5 billion. Now she's buying politicians. She's spending millions in Kentucky to buy Ed Galerian, my primary opponent. A congressional seat in Kentucky. Why? Because I won't vote to send your tax dollars overseas. A couple of things here. Massey is right. Adelson should not be involved in Kentucky politics. But we're going to do this on factions. Not this week. We got Mom Donnie this week. But I think we're going to do Massey next week. And Massey has Israeli funding that we're going to dive into later on. It's just it's a workaround. It's a shell company. That's how all of this operates. And y'all want to, I know chat's going to get mad at me because you're all Massey fans, which is fine. We can do Massey. But the problem is once you establish that that foundation of anti-AIPAC funding as foundational, as that is everything you vote for, then you box yourself in, then you end up with people like Massey that, which I mean, I guess is better than the rest, but he's all the same at the end of the day. But yeah, that being said, we're go to NAV, New American Vision, at NAV_creators. We're going to do that factions next week. That'll be next Wednesday. That'll be fun. I'm sure we'll get a lot of love from the chat on that one. But here's the rest of the Allison video.
Here you are coming and doing what humanity asks you to do. I wish that I could be there to congratulate you in person and give you a big hug, but I had knee surgery recently, so I could not come. Thank you for what you are. Thank you for continuing to be what we are.
Yeah, I mean, Josh, we're talking about the accent. And we've talked about this before. Anybody that can't speak English needs to be deported. Anybody that can't speak English should not be given money to American politicians. Like, can we just start there? If your accent is so thick that I can't understand you, that kind of rules out some people in Boston and Louisiana too. But you understand what I'm saying? If it's not an American accent, meaning if it's not the deep Louisiana French accent or the thick Boston accent, or even New York, your little Italian Jewish New York accent, you shouldn't be involved in our elections whatsoever. Thank you for all you do, America, Israel, and the Jewish people. Josh, we talked about this. Maybe not us, but we've talked about this before in 2024, even back in 2015, 2016, is the catering to the non-white, non-evangelical, non-Christian, non-American vote for what? A gain of 3% in that demographic, which translates to like 0.2% overall. Like what are we doing as a GOP and as a Republican Party, as much as we are or aren't, catering to non-Americans? Isn't this the problem, Josh?
I mean,
like I don't even know where to go if if the rhetoric is to convert as many black women to vote for the white dude because we're going to give you free stuff, when is SNAP starting back? Is we getting our SNAP benefits, Josh? Is we getting our EBT? Is we getting our Social Security? Like, that's who we're catering to. But who props up the American economy when it's not outsourced? America would fall without the people that built it. America would fall without the people that built it to maintain it. And you're watching that right now. You're watching it in real time. You're watching the transition of power. I don't know if it's going to be a clean transition from the white man to literally everybody else, or a transition from the older generation to the new generation, or a transition from where it is now to complete and utter rubble. I don't know what that looks like. We kind of had that discussion yesterday. What is the solution? Is it a political solution? Can we vote for more Adelson-funded politicians to fix this, Josh?
Absolutely.
Vote harder, chat. What are you doing? Just vote harder, dude. You voted one time. I need you to vote 6. Just vote for Trump 6 more times. And then he'll win bigger, and then he'll have the mandate. Then he'll be able to do things if you just vote harder. You know, kill more Charlie Kirks. Donald Trump could have became a tyrant after Charlie Kirk killing. Donald Trump could have became a tyrant after his popular election. He won the popular vote in the last election. He had a mandate to do whatever he wills. Whatever he wants to do, he could do it. What did we do? What did we do, Josh? We did nothing. We nominated Kash Patel. We nominated Pam Bondi. We nominated Dan Bongino. We nominated whoever. Make a list. Make a list of everybody that's not only not done anything, actively sabotaged and covered up things like the Epstein files. I would argue Charlie Kirk killing. And everything from that. What do we do?
So on top of all of that, it comes down to essentially what must happen. And this is the thing. Another thing to that point is, like, Donald, do something. Someone made this point on Nick's show, which is, think about it. Tyler Robinson, the Jews, whoever, but Charlie Kirk got killed, and despite who did it, the left celebrated, and Donald Trump did nothing. Jimmy Kimmel didn't get fired. No one really suffered it. No meaningful consequences have been doled out for that. The boomer and the basic bitch conservative, their belief is that we cannot let the left destroy us from within. We cannot let the left corrupt our morals. And their morals are this. Just be nice to everybody. Preserve the system that has failed you. That is what they want. The Constitution. Oh, baby, the Constitution. What has it got you?
We talk about this generational divide, and Josh talks about the Constitution, and my mind goes to Josh's morning show, which I watched a little bit of this morning. But they continuously gloss Donald Trump. Continuously. Like he can do no wrong. This is another generational divide. Like I mentioned earlier, the approval rating for Donald Trump from 18 to 35 right now is like 35%. I think it's less than 35%. That's the worst that he's had since he announced in 2015. What does that tell you, Josh? He has all the ability in the world to do whatever he wants to do, and what he is doing is destroying himself. Well, at the behest of his donors. Mm-hmm. He's doing their job for him, as he was paid to do.
And here's the thing you have to understand. I think it's safe to say that most people don't have agency, but the boomers especially, they are, I know this term gets thrown around a lot, but they are NPCs. They like, it sounds blasphemous, but they barely have a soul. And it goes to this where it's like, I work on a conservative radio show and I listen to the boomers all day long, all day, every day. And they are saying the exact same stuff about what Donald Trump is doing today that they said about Reagan, that they said about Bush, that they said about McCain, and who's the other guy? Romney. When it is today, it's the best thing that's ever happened. And you know what? My political analysis and projection of what is going to happen is exactly what I wanted to be. That's exactly what's going to happen, is everything I want. And then it doesn't. And then what happens? You get a Donald Trump, and he gives them permission to want a border wall in their own minds. And then what happens? Donald Trump gets in, does nothing, breaks all his promises, keeps promises that the opponent was doling out. And what do they say? We're living in unprecedented times, guys. Oh my God. I thought I was going to die and everything would be bad, but now it's great.
It's
We're
so
golden
good.
age.
To caveat off of Josh, this is exactly right. Not only are they just old in their brain plasticity, they can't learn anymore. That's just the nature of it. Once you hit 35, it's concrete. You're stuck there, unless you actively seek out new information. And most don't. And it is what it is. Maybe we should buy a TV station, Josh, and a radio station, and then they'll start. We'll just pretend to be 60-year-olds on the radio. They'll never know, and we'll just tell them what to think, and then we'll be right. That's a good idea, actually.
It's not, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you exactly why, and I can almost like name and date it because I saved it. The host of the show I work for one day deigned to say the words, "Capitalism has failed," and you know what the boomer audience did?
Really?
The phones lit up. And they were right there to say, we've never tried true capitalism. I mean, in spirit and in essence, that's what they're saying.
Really?
Yes. Well, the problem is government. It's big government. It's regulation. You know, you can't start a small business.
I was thinking about this yesterday. It might have been this morning, actually, where they were going on and on about National Socialism, and real socialism has never been tried. And I think, no, it was Breland Hollihan talking about we need to educate the kids more on socialism because we haven't done that. We need to educate them on more socialism more because every time socialism been tried, it's failed. Socialism has never worked. And I was thinking, that's just a truism. It's either failed or it is ongoing and eventually will fail. That's just the nature of all systems. Capitalism has failed every time it has failed, except for when it hasn't failed yet. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So when they say real socialism has never been tried, real liberalism, real capitalism, real whatever, it's just a truism because it's always going to fail unless it is continuing right now in current and will eventually fail.
Exactly. And people are in the chat talking about, well, it's not true capitalism because of the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve is part of the natural evolution of capitalism.
Was it
is
true
inevitable.
capitalism prior to the Federal Reserve? The answer would be yes. If you're arguing the Federal Reserve is what makes it not true capitalism, the thing prior to true capitalism or prior to the Federal Reserve would be true capitalism. Which failed, in your own words. So, and I would even argue that. I would say true capitalism. If we're going to argue capitalism in this respect, you would have to go back prior to the Civil War. Because after the Civil War, we reestablished the banking system, the second Bank of America, whatever. We can get into the weeds. But basically, the point stands that all systems will eventually fail. And the ones that haven't failed yet are ongoing. And so you saying a thing has never really been tried, the real thing has never been tried, or socialism is always a failure, Capitalism, it's just a truism. You can say that about anything. So that's just something I was sitting on the other day. And yeah, Josh, maybe if we say it enough times on the radio with a really deep voice, they'll believe it. It'll seep into their minds. It'll seep into their minds, and we can convince them.
Well, and I hate to say it, like the host of the show, I'm good friends with him. He's a good guy, and like he's not right on everything, but he genuinely is trying up to a point. He's a boomer, you can't really help it. But the thing is what that show is in essence is I know you guys are on your deathbeds, but don't worry, you did everything right, and it's somebody else's fault. That's what that show is there for. That's what like all conservative radio is there for, is if we just did Reaganomics right, everything would be fine. And there's no other factors.
Dude, the Reagan praise is insane to me, man. I still don't get it. It's like Reagan can do no wrong. He's the quintessential conservative, but that quintessential conservative gave amnesty to millions. That quintessential conservative placed tariffs. This is something they advocate against. To place tariffs on foreign imports of motorcycle companies so that Harley Davidson could thrive. Harley Davidson wouldn't exist without tariffs. What else did he do? Gun laws. What else, Josh? Defunded insane asylum so we can have. Dude, I was coming out of Walmart the other day, right? I was coming out of Walmart and I was like, is that a tranny? Not because I couldn't differentiate between a male or female. I was just deciding if it was human or not.
It didn't look human at all.
I was trying to make a decision. Is that even human? Was it male or female? I had to get to human first. That's how bad it's gotten. These people need to be behind bars. And that's a grace given to them if they're behind bars. They need to be put in court and plead insanity. And when they plead insanity,
I mean, and like I went to Charleston a few weeks ago, stopped for gas in the city, and there's just some like crazy black guy standing right outside of the convenience shop, and he's literally just like air stabbing. He didn't have a knife, but he was literally air stabbing.
I haven't seen
and I was like,
stabbing.
And I was like, if I just gave him a knife and then just like, excuse me, miss, came over here, it'd be donezo. We'd be.
I haven't seen the air stabbing, dude. All the time. You can drive through basically everywhere. Any city in America that doesn't that isn't extremely strict on homelessness, and they'll be at the stoplight on the corner, the main stoplight of the city, town, whatever it is, with little headphones on, dancing along because they're all cracked out, dude.
I have been seeing this trend. This way, I know like some of you guys and even other NAV founders clown on me for being on Instagram. People, the prank videos, dude, the homeless prank videos, they're getting good.
Are they?
Dude.
I haven't seen any.
Where like they will basically like abduct homeless people. The guy had like turned his entire inside of his minivan into like a tinfoil cage.
No.
He was like, hey, we're going to take you to get some food. And there's a guy in like a dog costume in the back of the van. And the homeless people, they just go along with it. They just don't care.
Really?
Yeah.
You need to do a show on that.
Yeah, I'll do some stuff on that. They're crazy.
That's funny, dude. That's funny.
I've seen them where they go to like homeless encampments with just bottles of Hennessy, and they're like, "Here you go, guys." They're like, "Got to keep them in the streets, like make sure they don't get better."
Oh, I've seen those.
Yeah,
they tape cigarettes to bottles of vodka and stuff and start passing them out to the homeless. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, that's not
It's
good. Funny, but it's not Christian, but it is funny.
We got a little derailed there. Jumping back on this, I mean, I guess not really. We're talking about this generational divide, and they're so stuck on the thing. If somebody claims like capitalism doesn't work, if somebody claims that is their foundational belief, and you challenging their foundational belief sends everything crumbling down if they accept that. And so they can't accept it because then they would have to start over. Why would they want to start over when they're 60 to 80 years old? They can't. It's not that they don't want to. They can't. They can't start over. Imagine starting over when you've lived an entire life. This is Jonathan Greenblatt. We listened to him talk about the generational divide back a year and a half ago, but this is him literally yesterday.
So I know we don't have a lot of time, but I want to ask you, I mean, so much anti-Semitism is spread unchecked on social media. And there was a time when social media companies, let's say, more aggressively policed these kinds of things. And I believe that they even sought the ADL's advice on these things sometimes, depending on the company.
Yeah.
And then it kind of fell out of fashion. Let's put it that way. What efforts do you think the ADL and other organizations can make to try to combat the real, just like cesspool of anti-Semitism online?
Well, let's be honest. I mean, it's sort of embedded in the question. Like, there's no silver bullet.
Yeah.
So social media has sort of seized, if you will, like the public conversation, and it's now mediated through algorithms, invisible to us, but like manifest on our phones. So you and I could be sitting literally like on the same sofa in the same house, looking at our phones, getting two entirely different worldviews. Steven Pinker's got this good new book about common knowledge. I think it's a problem when common knowledge is exploded and when there's no shared understanding of what like ground truth is. For a lot of our young people, ground truth is, Chat GPT, which itself is drawing information to its large language model from like Wikipedia and Al Jazeera. Like, that is really troubling. If we are going to solve this problem, we need to get upstream. And we've got to figure out how to get these companies to do the right thing. Again, like you said, it's kind of out of fashion these days for them to be policing. But look, I don't think it's cancel culture, not the platform Nazis. I don't think it's cancel culture, not the platform jihadists. So we would hope that they will do better in the future. And we've got a whole robust sort of advocacy agenda, like pushing and pushing and pushing. And we just got to keep at it. It ain't going to happen overnight. It's not easy, but we can't lose sight of our, of these goals.
Are you optimistic about TikTok?
I mean, real quick, he's talking about the algorithms and, I sit on this side of the couch, you sit on this side of the couch, and we all get different algorithms. It's like, dude, you control the algorithms. Larry Ellison owns TikTok at this point. We get shot down all the time on TikTok. It's completely controlled. A while back when they pushed the TikTok ban TikTok bill, I mean, that was floated. Why? Not because there was an issue with China owning TikTok. It's because they were allowing things like watermelons to be posted. And so these people own TikTok. Now, not only that, but just recently, X has given Grok full control of the algorithm, and it is completely catered to the person's feed. We talked about this before, where they probably feed Trump a steady diet of whatever they want to give him in his own algorithm. They control the algorithm and they're still losing. What does that tell you, Josh?
I mean, it's like it's like Charlie Kirk said in his plea to Netanyahu, allegedly, that, guys, if you want to win the battle over here, the eighth front in your 8-front war, could you not blow up the hospitals? I mean, like, this didn't happen in a vacuum, and we kind of hinted at this on Nav Founder Show on Sunday. Go watch it. Like, you could get away with supporting Israel for so long, and no one cared because it wasn't an issue. Because it's like, why do you? It was literally like, to a normie, it's like, why do you care? It's like we send money to a bunch of places. Why do you hate Israel so much? What are you, a Nazi? But now it's like, oh, they're savages, and they are quite literally executing, covering up, and glossing a genocide. And it's not the right-wing ones. It's all of them. It's the Larry Davids, it's the Jerry Seinfelds, it's the Netanyahus, and everyone's awake on it. Everyone's now open-minded to conspiracies, and what do? They read it, they learn it, and they go, oh, clean break memo? Jews did 9/11, and now everyone's waking up on both sides. Oh, well, wait. It's not cancel culture to get rid of these people.
Yes, it's never, you know, it's not our fault. It's not our fault.
And it never has been.
And it never has been. Lord of Reed, super chat, $5. Thank you, sir. Doesn't help that boomers are so objectively addled due to environmental toxins like lead in gasoline, paint, etc. Hand over the keys, Grandpa.
I don't think that's the problem.
That's not the problem, Lord of the Reed. Is it funny that they have lead poisoning?
I mean,
no?
What does your car run on?
But no, hand over the keys, dude. We've talked about this before. It's I mean, your time's up. If we want to save this country, if you want your children to have a future, or at a minimum, if you want your children not to blame you for the rest of their lives and just for the rest of your life, then you would hand over the keys. Indian spam call.
So we're going to ask you not to talk about the poop festival. We are going
Talk
to come
now
for
that sort of an
Go ahead.
We're going to come for you.
American.
You're gonna. It's like gonna be the what's the Godfather? Instead, you're gonna wake up. You're gonna take the bed sheets off. There's just gonna be a big cow pie in your bed instead of a horse head.
They're coming for me, guys. They have my phone number.
And conglomerate has bought part of the American operation.
Yeah, I mean, look, TikTok, in my mind, I was not someone who believed that changing the ownership will necessarily affect the performance of the product. Case in point, Facebook, founded and owned by a Jewish man, Mark Zuckerberg, and really helped built by Sheryl Sandberg, two Jewish people. Instagram, I think one or both the founders Jewish. Twitter, one of the founders Jewish.
So when he's complaining about the algorithm feeding you different things, when he's complaining about the algorithm not indoctrinating you in the way that the ADL wants to, he's saying that the Jews that own the media, the Jews that own the social media aren't doing enough. That's what he's saying here.
And I couldn't help but notice his book in the back. It could happen here. Wonder what that's about.
Like, I could go on, but the point is that all those guys are Americans, and X and Insta are so damaging, I think, to the public conversation. So I don't think that the nationality of the ownership will necessarily make it better. The only way it gets better is if the ownership is committed to that outcome. And on that point, I'm optimistic. What else can you be?
I want let's listen to this one more time.
Founders Jewish. Twitter, one bird, and really helped built by Sheryl Sandberg, two Jewish people.
Hold on.
By a Jewish Facebook. Changing the ownership will necessarily affect the performance of the product. Case in point, Facebook, founded and owned by a Jewish man, Mark Zuckerberg, and really helped built by Sheryl Sandberg, two Jewish people. Instagram, I think one or both the founders Jewish. Twitter, one of the founders Jewish. Like, I could go on, but the point is that
Josh did a bit not long ago at a Myron Gaines event where he listed the accomplishments of the Jewish people. That was parody. This isn't parody. Jews don't own the media. They just own literally all of the media. It's not parody, dude. How, like, they brag about it and then say it doesn't exist. It's not real. We own all of these things that we say we don't control, yet we control them.
Well, and it's like, I mean, you know, like, double standard, we get it. But it's like, Randy Fine, I am a Jew first, I'm Israeli first, Brett Cooper. I think he'd be happier in Israel. Whoa!
Whoa! That's
Pump the
anti-Semitic.
brakes. So basically, black people have one word that only they can say. Jews have entire dialogues and statements and written words that you can't, written phrases you can't. Words for thee, words for me, not for thee.
Josh, I'm gonna get you to read some of this. This is a little bit longer post from Laura Loomer. I got the gist of it, but let's read through it. And yeah, it's a wall.
All right.
But you know I can't read, so you do that.
All right. Chapter 1. After spending this last week in Israel and along the Syrian border, I have reached a firm conclusion. Israel must end its dependence on the U.S. aid, and the U.S. must end all aid to Israel. I truly hope the end of the Trump by the end of the Trump administration and by the beginning of the new administration in 2028, that we see zero aid flowing to Israel. U.S. taxpayers currently send $3.8 billion annually to Israel, and in return, we get roughly $48 billion back through defense contracts, pharmaceuticals, and technology. The math is clear, but the military aid itself serves as golden handcuffs on Israel and a constant source of agitation for Americans that has manifested into a distraction from domestic policy. Even though our investment directly serves the interests of U.S. national security through counterterrorism and shared intelligence in the Middle East, true America First policy means we stop.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Means we stop dictating to a sovereign nation how to run its government and military, and that we stop telling Israel how to respond to Iran, Hamas, and Hezbollah. Cut the U.S. aid, and Israel becomes fully sovereign. America First means we don't tell other countries how to govern or how to neutralize threats. That's a crazy one right there.
Keep going, dude. Keep going.
America First means we don't get to tell Israel not to eradicate Hamas or not to bomb nuclear facilities. America First means we don't get to tell Mossad to not kill the Ayatollah when he's hiding in a bunker. America First means the U.S. no longer gets to dictate to Israel how they manage their nuclear arsenal. Yo. America First means liberation from being a global babysitter. Once the aid to Israel ends, the Pentagon's leash comes off. Israel's wars become Israel's wars. We lose the leverage to urge restraint on bombing Iran or eradicating Hamas. We lose the ability to tell Israel to not enter Gaza. We lose the ability to tell Israel to neutralize Hezbollah. Yes, we forfeit the $48 billion return on our $3.8 billion investment, but Americans will no longer have a scapegoat to blame for every domestic problem. In the end, it's a win-win. I had an incredible week in Israel, and I'm eternally grateful for my travel.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Let's end all USA to Israel. All right. Let's knock this down real quick. We got about 15 minutes. That's crazy work to start with. Second of all, if you don't know who Laura Loomer is, she's a Mossad operative. She has been for a while. This is not debatable. No, but does anybody debate this, Josh? I think we all know that. The question is, what is happening here? What is happening? True America First policies, meaning we stop dictating to a sovereign nation how to run its government and military. That's what they want. We've been paying Israel retard amounts of money for decades. For decades. We've been fighting their wars for 30 years. Now that they're relatively self-sustaining, they want to break free from the U.S. because they don't want any imposition from the U.S. on them so that they can carry out whatever war crimes they want to do because they are not bound by international law. They are not officially Americans' ally. We have a list of allies in America, and Israel is not on that. But they're the greatest, though, Josh. And so when we have someone coming out like Laura Loomer, and this is what the show is about, and I'm going to bring it to a head here in a second. This is what the show is about. This generational divide. Laura Loomer is a part of this younger generation. I know she doesn't look it. She's like 40-something years old. But relative to someone like Bibi Netanyahu, where they can place all the blame on someone like Bibi Netanyahu, allow him to be that sacrificial lamb to die, and then have Israel reborn as a new nation, if you will, backed by people like Laura Loomer that are facilitating the absolute decuffing of Israel to the point where they don't need us anymore. Well, they don't need us anymore. And everybody understands that. And this is the next play. Is to liberate Israel by decoupling itself from the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
The U.S. is falling. It is failing. It is flailing. And they recognize this. Their next play, if you look at what they're working on, don't have anything to bring up right now, but their next play is to their east, is to China, to South Asia. That's where they're going, because that's where all the momentum is coming from. That's where they're going. They want to decouple from the U.S. They want to leverage everything they can to America. And that is their play. Let me get you up, Josh. But yeah, this is Laura Loomer. This is Mossad. This is the Israel talking heads. They want America First policy to allow Israel to do whatever it wants to do. That is America First, Josh. That is... They want to let it go. They want to take the handcuffs off so that they can do what they want to. Not because America needs to stop giving Israel money, not because we need to stop fighting their wars, but because Israel needs free reign of the Middle East. There it is, in their own words. And that is the generational divide. This new generation coming up is going to be a phoenix on the ashes of this older generation as they get rid of people like Netanyahu. There's your analysis for the next 5 years. And it didn't come from me. It came from Laura Loomer.
And exactly. And in all of this, she is identifying herself as an American.
Yeah.
She's going, we here, this is what we say in our country, but what America First means is that we don't boss other people around. We don't violate anyone else's sovereignty. That's what America First means. That was our problem with the Iraq War, is that we violated their sovereignty. Is that even what Laura Loomer would say? Probably
no,
not.
They don't want America to be a global babysitter. Once they attempt to decouple, and I think it will happen because it will be voted for once they, one, get their memo out, and two, the younger generation has more of a voice in voting. They want liberation for America to not have any global stage. And so what that does is that frees up whoever has the power at the time to bomb and glass and glaze with bombs whoever they feel like doing.
I don't know about you, but what I want is, I'm actually okay with Israel being a Jewish state.
Sure, we've said that before.
As long as it's run by Christians. Jewish people, ethnically and religious, cannot hold public office in Israel. That's the stipulation. And you have to give us back the nukes.
In all seriousness, Christians ought to control Jerusalem. That's undebatable.
Absolutely.
She also says Americans will no longer have a scapegoat to blame for every domestic problem. What they're trying to do is they're trying to get away from the fingers pointing at them. This is what's going to happen. Again, if you read into this, they're going to throw everything at the current admin in Israel, which is Netanyahu, and all of the wars and all of the war crimes that have come before them, before whoever this next person is, they're grooming someone. They're going to put it all on them and say, we're turning a new leaf. Mm-hmm. You can't blame me for that. We're just little old Israel. Well, you don't even give us any money anymore. Well, we don't need to, because we've been doing it for decades. We've been fighting your wars for decades. Now that you're self-sustainable, you don't want any help anymore, and that's fine. We don't want to give you the help. But you stole the jets. You stole the nukes. You stole everything. And now that you've stolen everything, you think you can win on your own? Well, you want to run America first as no longer a police state of the global empire.
Well, and there's even more than that going on in this, where she's basically saying, here's my solution to a problem, which is you people are so obsessed with Israel that you're losing sight of the real issue you need to worry about, which is domestic policy. Don't worry about what's going on over there. But since you guys are so upset, here's my solution. We can do whatever we want forever. You happy? Is that a reasonable compromise? All right, cool. You can go home now.
But yeah, she goes on and says, America first means the U.S. no longer gets to dictate to Israel how they manage their nuclear arsenal.
Sorry, Laura, where did that come from?
Oh, what? Listen, when I say America first, again, we go back to this. The clip that I put together. America first is just means whoever is wielding America first wants it to mean. So they can bash you over the head with it. Obviously, Israel's nuclear program has nothing to do with America outside of Israel having nukes. We get to dictate, America, because we are the world superpower, get to dictate who gets to have nukes. That's just the nature of being the greatest country in the history of the world. The greatest empire in the history of the world. That just comes with the territory. They want complete separation from America because America is the one that is hindering them from their end goal. The end goal of the Antichrist, the end goal of one world government. Josh, if we can infiltrate every government in the world, but then that government has control over Israel, how do we get rid of that control over Israel? We liberate Israel, and then once we have all the power and control of all the governments, then they answer to Israel. It's a 180. It's coming in the next 5 to 10 years if nothing happens.
And this is something, you heard it here first. This is actually something I disagree with Nick on, where Nick doesn't get specific enough, I would say, about this, where he says he kind of glosses over which essentially is, I agree with the message, which is like, we don't hate these people. We're not trying to genocide them now. We're not trying to kill any of them, but Jewish people cannot have power in America. Okay, so what does that look like? I think we need to go so far as to say, look at what has happened. This open system has brought in such a degree of foreign infiltration that this tiny country the size of New Jersey across the planet has complete control over everything the greatest empire in the world is allowed to do. And I think getting specific, to say we're going to kick out every brown person out of America, it's impossible. It's not going to happen. Yeah, we can do mass deportations, but are we going to get them all out? It's just not realistic. However, I think drastic changes like seizing all of the Jewish billionaires, seizing all of their assets, not letting people of that kin allowed in public office simply on the basis of that. I think, and we talked about this before, a 10-year dictator period where we go hard on every crime. You steal bubble gum from the store, you're losing a finger. At 10 years, and probably more in their case, of it's like, look, if you want to live here, okay, but you can't have a cell phone and you can't have email. You have no internet access. You can go to Shabbat, but it can't be public. We're getting rid of freedom of religion, by the way. And if you want to celebrate your religion, you can do it in the privacy of your own home, and you can't run for public office ever. That's what I would say.
I missed the bulk of that. I caught the front end, which was what is the solution? I think instead of trains, we do ships this time. Just kind of switch it up, a little switch up. Because obviously trains didn't
kosher.
work. Trains didn't work.
Are cargo containers kosher?
They were close. We didn't get them. Didn't get them all the way.
You guys are so great. If the Mexicans
Madagascar,
can
we
get
need
here,
ships to Madagascar. Well, I want a train line of ships, a shipping train.
Yo,
figured it out. Solution shipping train.
The USS Shtetl is on its way.
But yeah, I mean that's a little bit on Laura Loomer. What is projected for the future of America-Israel allyship? The allyship is no longer viable for Israel because they want to commit the war crimes because now they have the ability to, whether that's drones or nukes or whatever. They don't need America boots on the. They don't want to kill Americans in the desert anymore. They want to do it here. And I'm going to get to some of the comments that weren't super chats real quick that I came across during the stream. Maybe I'll start doing this a little bit more, especially when I do solo show. Josh is going to start doing some solo work too. I think I talked him into doing some React content. Not live, but more like React content. It'll be more driven. I think that'll be more up his alley. I think we'll try that out and see how it goes. That's all this is. All this is a guess and check. We're just going to try and see if it works. Let's see. First one, Gen Z Goy asks, Zeb, thoughts on DC pipe bomber? Have you seen this story, Josh?
I don't know it, but I've heard about this recently.
So I did a interview with Stephen Horn about a year and a half ago on January 6th. He was there for January 6th. He's done a documentary on January 6th. But Steve Baker came out and released some information on the pipe bomber. The pipe bomber was a real big sticking point for January 6th, which is because they never found the person that laid the pipe bombs. Just shocker, right? Like you can find a dude based on his ear picture and track him down and arrest him, but you can't find a person that dropped multiple pipe bombs. And that sounds a little sus.
There's like 1 billion hours of security footage to comb through, and he just knew, man. He slipped through the cracks. It's like V for Vendetta.
Well, they found out who it was. They figured out who it was by gait. Gait is just the way someone walks, they move. And it was like a 94, 96% match. I don't know exactly. But it was extremely high, and it was extremely accurate. And this person was Capitol Police, Josh. This person was then CIA. Along with the 274 agents there, you have people like this, that the pipe bomb goes back to the federal government. And if you want an answer, and this might get me in trouble, General Flynn helped fund January 6th. Don't look into that because I don't want the FBI coming knocking on my door or whoever Flynn's goons are.
Me.
But yeah, thoughts on DC pipe bomber? I think I answered that question. Josh, are you in favor of the ridges on coins?
Yes. Like keeping them, I mean?
You want to put your hat on and try again?
What are you talking about? What's the problem? You don't like us or something? Venomous coalition.
Doc says
that was a little a Trump and a Jew at the same time.
What's the difference at this point? Better MOA or mill? We always use mill. It's like metric system. For those of you who don't know, MOA is like the imperial system. The system, what do we use? Imperial?
Like for
anyway, MOA is like a metric system. Mill is easier. Mill is better. It's all divisible by 10 because it works on meters. MOA works on like yards and feet and inches and stuff. Angles. We never used MOA. Maybe that answers your question. In your opinion, who is really blocking the release of Epstein files? Could it be Israel because it comes out that Epstein was Mossad and controlled and politicians through blackmail? Doreen, the answer to that question is everyone. That is the answer to the question. You could argue that Charlie Kirk was killed specifically because of his Epstein position, because he wanted the Epstein files released. We obviously know that Kash Patel is covering up the Epstein files. We obviously know Pam Bondi's covering up the Epstein files. We obviously know Trump's covering up not only covering up, stating that it doesn't exist. The black book doesn't exist, even though we were told that we have the files on our desk. We know, for all intents and purposes, Bongino was covering up for it. Bongino said, I actually thought about doing an FBI, State of the FBI video on my first live stream. We know Bongino said that he was going to quit if the Epstein files weren't released. Where's Bongino at? He's still at the FBI. We don't hear anything from him because they muzzled him. To answer your question, who is blocking the release of the Epstein files? The answer is everyone, because everyone is implicated. We all know that he was Mossad. We all know that Ghislaine Maxwell and her father were Mossad. I make the argument that Epstein was less in the female procurement and more in the technology and weapon procurement aspects. It just came as a single package with Ghislaine. So the answer to your question is everyone. Trump himself, all the way down through his administration, all the way up through Wexner, through who else was the prime minister of the current president? I mean, the current president of Israel is in there too. So, I mean, we read a memo the other day about Prince Andrew not being Prince Andrew anymore because he is in the Epstein files. It's all the way up and all the way down. Whatever those Epstein files, whatever that black book is tied to, is literally everyone. Literally everyone. Literally everyone. I don't know how. Literally everyone. That is the strand of yarn that's sticking out, waiting to be pulled. Josh, your wig's looking good today.
My wig's look good.
That's about 5:04. Let's see, chat. Anything else before we go? Give y'all a little rundown of what we're holding in the future. Are we doing this show on Tuesday? I think we're going to start doing the show on Tuesdays.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to start doing this show on Tuesdays. That means 3 to 5 on Tuesdays. Probably. I'm going to have to work around all of this for my solo shows. So probably solo show 1 or 1:30. Maybe 1:30. Solo show 1:30.
Just
daily.
throwing it out there. The times that going forward, John, Jack, and myself will be doing our show will be 2 p.m. on Mondays.
2 on Mondays.
Yeah.
I thought we moved that back to 4.
During the meeting, no, because that's on Jack's time.
Okay.
We'll
figure it out. We're not naming it the ZebBoykin show.
ZebBoykin.
That's cheap. It's cheap. I think it's cheap, Josh. I know yours is Josh VanDerNoord show, but I just think it's cheap. It's like
we're doing the React content. I'm going to switch it up.
It's like the Ben Shapiro show, the Matt Walsh show, the Michael Knowles show, the Joshua VanDerNoord show. It's like
we're gonna call it.
It needs some flavor to it.
It's gonna be Southern Charm with ZebBoykin.
1:30 a.m. Let's go, dude. Let's go. All right, so you're doing 2 on Mondays.
2 on Mondays.
I wonder if we can push that to 3 for Jack. You think
it's
Jack
probably
could do 3?
possible. And the thing is
that
is
our
our
consistency on Nav too.
Because that's not when it airs. It's not a live show.
Okay.
But that is our sort of agreed upon
release time.
Okay, good job. No. It's going to air on Wednesdays. 2 p.m. Mondays is our ideal window. Yeah, because that's when Mondays are when I'm most free, and I mean John can do whenever, but Jack works nights, so we'll figure it out later.
ZebBoykin tonight. Actually, I'm not gonna out him, but the graphics guy, the guy that's doing some of the graphics for Nav stuff and for me, did a Tonight Show with ZebBoykin or something like that, and it was pretty clean looking. I just don't have the same energy at night. I can't. By the time I get throughout the day and I've already had 6 Celsiuses, I can't down a Celsius and just get that energy. It's not the same dynamic. Chat.
The Not Ballistic Show.
My property. The Not Ballistic Show. We'll work on this. The Outer Banker.
That's pretty good.
Nick just announced he's only streaming Mondays now.
Nick Fuentes? You want to pull that up real quick?
I'm assuming it would be on Twitter. Let me get this. Let's see.
My here, I'll grab the mouse because my name.
I'm good.
All right.
All right, let's see what we got. Sorry.
Nick.
I'm assuming it's on Twitter. You can debate Israel. I don't see anything. It must have been his Telegram. Is it in his Telegram?
I'll check his Telegram real quick.
Southern Comfort.
That's a thing though already.
That Southern Comfort is a whiskey.
I don't see it in Telegram. You lie?
Indecisive. We're trying to make everything work. We got too much going on. All right. Anyway, that's basically the show today. Thank you for the suggestion, Doctor. We'll play with that. That's show today. This is the generational divide. We kind of went through it today. It started probably. It's been started. There's always a generational divide, but this one is on Israel and the pro-Israel position versus the anti-Israel position. Obviously, you can take that a little bit further, pro and anti-Jew, but this is what we're seeing. And Laura Loomer comes out today and kind of gives you a very elaborate plan that they're working on here in the near future. And so who am I to not believe the Mossad agent, Josh?
They tell on themselves, Zeb. Give them credit. They're pretty good at that.
They brag too much. All that being said, we will be live tomorrow, 3 o'clock. Also, our Tuesday show on here, wherever here is, Nav, my channel, and Josh's channel.
Real quickly, I know we're wrapping up, but I just thought, I wonder if that's to actually become not a Mossad asset, not a Mossad operative, but a literal trained Mossad agent, like someone who was in Mossad. Do they have a problem finding people that don't spill secrets because they're bragging about it? I wonder if that's an issue.
Well, it's in their nature, dude. Maybe that's what they look for. If they're doing it right, that's what they look for. Marie, sorry you didn't get the notification. If you're on YouTube, I meant to stream this to the NavX channel. Anyway, we'll do that next week. And for the rest of the shows, the notifications. If you go on YouTube, you can go to the channel itself and click on the little bell, and instead of hitting personalized, hit all notifications. It'll let you know. It should still give you notifications. If it doesn't, then the YouTube hates us, which we already know that. So all that being said, if you want to support us, it's in the description. All of our merch, everybody's a Fed except me. Mud cookie mugs. What else we got in there, Josh? Grifter fights. We have then some of John Ward stuff, some of the Nav stuff itself. Windbreakers are nice. Anything else? Shield Josh's channel. Josh has his channel. Go check him out. He's going to start doing React videos. And then I'm working on a couple of videos also. It is what it is, chat. Josh, last word.
This is Outside the Overton. We're going to be going to 1 day a week, but the Nav network is rising. The new American vision is inevitable, guys. But thank you guys for watching.